Yo, yo, Math by the Moon here to help you with some pie charts, some how much, how many, how to get some answers from analyzing pie charts, basically. So let me share my screen with you. We'll do some of these examples. Let me get this out of the road. There we go. First thing I'm going to show to you is something that's very, very helpful for conversion. So if you need to, pause the video, copy that thing down. If you're already in class, you've got a handout of one of these, so you don't need to copy it down. So if you're an A/B student, don't worry. But if you're a C student, you probably want to copy that down. Pause it. And if you're a C student, this document is also attached to this this assignment. So if you wanted to, you could open that document and you could write right on it. If that doesn't work for you, you could print it out and you could write on the document. But at any rate, you could also just number these in your notebook, take a picture, copy down the entire thing by hand, but that might take some time. But you'll have to figure out the best way for you so that it's usable, and then so you can submit it to me so I know that you actually took the video notes. So the first thing you always want to focus on when you look at a pie chart is the title. Okay, so I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to circle the title. So this is about the total amount of sales at the lunch. Soup is the first question, and it says how much money. So we want to refer to this $2,000 as our whole. And we look at the pie chart itself, and soup is 15%, so that's 0.15 as a decimal. We've said in class over and over again that the usable form of a percentage when we're doing math with it is either as a fraction or a decimal. And everybody says it's easier to get it to a decimal. So we move it over 2 spaces, boom, boom, and we multiply by 2,000. This is going to give us our money, and that would have been $300. Okay. The next one's beverages. You can probably do that one, but it's tricky because the decimal needs to move over 2 spaces, so we need it to be 0.09 times 2,000, which would be $180. Salads is 0.21. Which would be $420. Okay, this how much more money is spent on sandwiches and desserts. You want to calculate the amount of money there would be on sandwiches, which is this. And desserts, same deal, 0.15, which we already did above. But you almost have to think to yourself, how do I figure out how much more one is than the other? So it's a subtraction problem. So if I subtract these two numbers right here, I get $500 more spent on the sandwiches than desserts. So if you're trying to calculate how much, you're probably going to need to multiply by the decimal. So do a conversion and multiply. The next slide, again, this is about United States exports. So the first thing you're going to have to do is figure out, well, I don't see percentages in any of these, so I'm probably going to have to add up all of these numbers to get my total amount of money that we're exporting. It's about money, okay? So if I add these all up in my calculator, don't add France twice, you get 29,460, I believe, okay? And that's if you add up all of those numbers. What percent? Whenever we're looking for a percent, the only place that we can start, and a lot of math teachers give you your test back and it's got a little thing at the top that tells you how to find your grade. It doesn't usually tell you your grade. And the thing that they always put at the top is a fraction. So you got to start out as a fraction. When the question's asking you for a percent, you got to start out as a fraction. So we already know the denominator of our fraction is 29,460. What percent are exported to Mexico? So that's 8,136. And to convert the fraction, you first need to move it into a decimal form. So we'll take 8,000 and divide it by 29,460. And we'll get 0.27617. And, you know, that decimal keeps going in not a real nice fashion. So we need to make it a percent, so we have to move it over 2 spaces. And I use the wavy equal sign because it's now an approximation, because I'm going to round this 27.6%, let's just call it. Okay, so 27.6% of U.S. exports were done to Mexico. So what percent were exported to Canada? Same deal, we'll look at Canada. Canada is 13,390 out of 29,460. If I divide that, I get 45.45451. And I'm going to move it over 2 spaces to get my percent, 45.5%. That time I rounded my decimal up, because if I move it right to here, that 5 makes that 4 round up. So to do the last one, Japan and France, pause the video, see if you can get this one, add it up, divide by the number, and see if you can get it. And you should get 26.9%. If you added them together, you get 7,934. If you add Japan and France together, out of our 29,460. Okay, so if they want to know a percent, you got to always start out as a fraction. You should probably pause the video and write that down. If I need a percent, I have to start as a fraction. If I need a percent, I have to start out as a fraction. If I just simply need how much or how many, I'm probably going to use the decimal times the whole amount to get that. All right, so you guys have 2 other practice slides here that you can do. Pause the video and do the Primrose one, or the Hunger Games character one on your own.